Hallo und willkommen, ich bin Meister Lenzi and you're watching Get Germanized, and today I'm here with Katja from Deutsch Fuer Euch and we're doing another Snapchat Q&A. The first part is on Katja's channel, so do check that out first and then come back and watch part 2, or you can just watch this one and then hers. Doesn't really matter. We're gonna answer some questions. As you might know what the Snapchat Q&A is, you add me on Snapchat, Get Germanized. Katja sadly doesn't have Snapchat yet. And well, you film yourself and ask me a question and then send it to Get Germanized, but only after I request it, because sometimes people send it even though there's no Snapchat Q&A going on. So definitely remember to wait until I request it. Anyways guys, let's get started, right?
Yeah! I am bored. What should I do? Ah, ich weiß.
Get Germanized. So, did you guys go to Hauptschule, Gymnasiumschule, oder?
Realschule.
Realschule.
I went from Grundschule straight to Gymnasium, and yeah.
That's it. Good start, bro.
I did my Abitur. Maybe the kind of interesting thing about me is I repeated 8th grade, but that's it.
Well, I went from Grundschule to Orientierungsstufe, which was the 5th and 6th class, pretty much.
It's a different system here.
It was. They abolished
because school is a federal matter, so it's all over the place.
Yeah. They abolished that Orientierungsstufe, the Oriental stage kind of thing, where they decided where they're going to send you, either to Haupt, Real or Gymnasium, right? Hauptschule, Realschule, Gymnasium.
Also like those 2 years were like the test phase?
Test phase, pretty much. And then the teachers could suggest, recommend where you should go, and then in the end I think if you really wanted to go to a different level, then you could, but most people just followed the recommendations from what I've seen, and they've recommended...
That was the same in Baden-Württemberg when I was graduating elementary, because now I think it's in... I'm not sure if it's in every federal state, but by now I know it's definitely in Baden-Württemberg parents decide 100%. But back when it was for me, it was the school recommended it, and like you said, if you really wanted to, you could challenge that recommendation. But basically what that mostly ended up being was they would give the kid really hard tests that were basically undoable. And so most parents would just avoid that for the sake of their child, because they didn't want to send out their child feeling like they were not good enough.
Yeah. Well, and after they decided where to send you, well, for me they recommended Realschule, because I have had bad grades in mathematics, as always, I told you, because later on, well, my school experience was all over the place as well, because after Realschule, what I did was I started an apprenticeship as an IT system electrician.
Oh, I never knew that.
Then, well, after a year the company went bankrupt. I found out that the company went bankrupt a couple of times before that and changed its name, and so I was so frustrated with the whole thing that I thought, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to university. And so, because though I was so lazy at Realschule, I didn't have a great average good enough to go there. So what I did was I went to the Einjährige Berufsfach Wirtschaftsschule, which is like an economy school for 1 year to get a better grade average. And then finally, at some point, I forgot about something crucial here, because we have how do you say that? Someone that needs nursing in our family. Like my uncle is in a wheelchair, and because I was just thinking to myself, what
special needs?
Special needs.
Might just be a very PC term.
Yeah, what if someday you need to take care of that person, of someone else, right? So what I did was I went to another one-year school, which was the Einjährige Sozialpflegeschule we got here where I live. So they taught you basically how to nurse people, how to care for them. I did like a work experience at a kita, integrative kita actually, which is like an integrative kindergarten where like special needs kids are in there with normal kids, right? So they had like HDSD, how do you say that?
ADHD, yeah.
ADHD kids and just all different kinds of kids with special needs.
Also kids with Down syndrome? Isn't that like...
yeah, I think we had one. And then also what I did was a work experience at like a nursing station. It's called Ambulante Pflege, ambulant care station where they drive home to people and give them the medicine, make breakfast, and wash them and
just
stuff like that.
Make sure they take
pretty
care of
much.
themselves,
And after I finished that school, I finally went to gymnasium. Was a bit older than everyone else, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and after I finished that, it was actually a school for nutrition, nutritional science, like Ökotrophologie.
Right, so maybe that's something worth noting. There are some gymnasiums that like specialize in a certain field. Yeah, so there's technical gymnasiums, there's economics gymnasiums, or well, or also
all that.
Like music and social work and arts.
They call us Giftmischer because we're
so, poison mixers.
Yeah, and after that I went to Bielefeld University and studied American and British Studies and Sociology. So you just asked about Hauptreal and Gymnasium, but I told you my whole career. Sorry about that.
Alright, here's my question in German. Was für ein Auto fahren Sie? That's okay.
So the question is if we drive cars, and what, right? Or what kind of car do you drive? Do you want to start?
I do drive, and I have my own car, and it's I'm not gonna say too specifically what it is.
What but I want to know. I don't know.
You want to know? Well, you can visit me and find out.
All right, all right.
It's a little car.
I have a little car. I have a shitty little car. I have an Opel Corsa. It's old, and actually I put it through an inspection recently, and they said nope, it's going to be too expensive to repair, so that car is dead. D-E-D, dead. So
D-E-D, dead. Like OMG, dead.
Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, so you don't need to be embarrassed at all. Like, I have a shit car.
No, I'm not embarrassed. It's just, again, about me being paranoid.
People seeing you, oh, look, there's a car like that.
No, but, you know...
so it's a little car.
It's a little red car.
A little red car, that's all the clues you're gonna get.
Surprise? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Hallo, machst du auch Videos über deutschen Dialekt? Oder hast du das schon? Grüße aus Istanbul.
Wow, your German is really good. Your pronunciation is spot on. Good job on that. I mean,
pretty amazing, man.
Yeah, pretty good.
Girl, not
girl.
Man.
Sorry.
Woman.
Woman, lady. I've already made a dialect video. You can find it on my channel Get Germanized. Just search for dialects, and you will find examples of all the dialects, or many dialects of Germany. So in Germany, yeah.
What are some colloquial differences between Niedersachsen and Baden-Württemberg?
Oh man!
That's a difficult question.
That's always that kind of stuff that's hard to come up with on the spot if you haven't thought about it before. One thing I noticed here is that it's very typical northern architecture. I mentioned that earlier because we were like driving through town a bit. It reminds me a lot of like the Rhine area as well, like Nordrhein-Westfalen. So I perceive that to be, to me, that's a very like from the middle north. That's how you recognize where you are, basically. For anyone who's ever been to Britain, that's also very similar to how like rural-ish areas look in Britain. It's like brick houses, yeah.
But I don't really, I've never been to Baden-Württemberg consciously, at least. I've never visited any cities there, so I wouldn't necessarily know. I mean, I know what it's like in Munich and Bavaria. That's southern as well, but that's not what you asked, so I can't really...
Are you saying it's all the same?
It's pretty much all the same.
Wow.
But I enjoyed the different food they got down there.
I'm offended.
I mean, they definitely have a different cuisine, right? You guys have like not more hearty food, but different hearty food. Like, again...
Other meat dishes.
Other meat dishes, other Spätzle. I like Spätzle a lot.
That's not meat, that's, that's
mac and cheese.
Egg noodles.
Pretty much mac and cheese and
no.
Similar.
No.
Similar.
It's a very eggy dough. Basically.
Yeah, with cheese sauce.
Not always.
But I only know it with cheese sauce.
That shows how much you know.
Not much about the South. yeah. Other than that, other than food, I don't really know much.
Like countryside-wise, of course, here everything's a bit flatter. But I don't live in a very like specifically hilly area. But that's because I actually live in a valley area. Generally, you could say that there's more mountains or more elevated areas in Baden-Württemberg than in Niedersachsen.
Most likely,
Niedersachsen. But yeah, local, I mean, people talk different
dialects.
Yeah, I mean, Niedersachsen is one of the least dialecty areas, but it's not like there aren't any dialects here either.
We do have dialects.
Absolutely not, yeah.
That's about it, I guess. I mean, we have different cities, but I can't really point out all the differences between cities now because I would go in too much detail. You can Google that as well. But there's definitely many differences between the North and the South, I think, at least in architecture, in food, in dialects. Like, you can find some if you look at...
Some attitudes, including the attitudes towards each other, which is a bit annoying sometimes.
The rivalry between the North and the South, for whatever reason.
Dominik, wie heißt Ihr Vögel, Ihr Papageivögel? Und Katja, wie viele Hüte hast du?
My papagei heißt Coco. My parrot's name is Coco. It's not mine actually, it's my dad's parrot. Very, very cute old lady though, almost 50, what did my dad say, I think?
Yeah.
Pretty,
you said
pretty
like
old.
40-ish and he was like, yeah, I think almost 50 by now.
Pretty old.
I didn't even know they could get that old.
Yeah, amazing. How many hats do you have?
How many hats do I have?
That's important.
I've had a whole 20 seconds to think about that. Unfortunately, I can't go count them right now, but I think, because I've been asked this before, I think it's around 13?
13 hats! Damn, that's a lot of hats.
I mean, I have more, but the other ones I don't use because, like, the ones with the, that have a, what do you call it, a visor, I guess, on it.
Like Geordi from Star Trek.
Right.
Nerds.
I can't use them for videos, and I have so many floppy hats by now that. But like,
why?
if it's all of them that I have somewhere, it's might be around 20. But I think the ones that are actually in usage are like somewhere between 12 and 15.
Oh, that's a lot of hats. Nice.
And I still don't, like, there's still a few colors I'm missing. So.
I was wondering, would Germany be a good place to be an exchange student and to study abroad? Because I'm interested in Germany. I've been wanting to study there for a couple of years.
Sorry, but I'm not 100% sure what you asked. I think where to study science in Germany. What would be a good place for that? I hope that's the question.
I mean, we got where to study something, and probably science. Sorry. Bit just slurred, I'm afraid. But we caught that you wanted to study something
in Germany
very passionately, and
because you're Batman.
Batman only does things passionate. But in general, luckily we can answer it anyway. In general, Jesus.
I guess.
You're a major dork.
Major dork.
Okay, you got that out of your system? Good.
Yeah. But yeah.
Alright, so in general, the answer to the question, where can I study X in Germany? We can't really answer that well because we don't have like a general overview of universities in Germany. There are places to... Well, first of all, universities in Germany are not all that vastly different. So if you find a science study program, or a study program for what specifically you want to study, go for it and try to get a space as an international student. And if it ends up not being exactly what you wanted, you're gonna get access to more information on where you might, other places you could study that more easily once you're already in Germany. So find a place that's good for you and like that you can afford, that has a study program you want, blah blah blah. Apply, hopefully get a spot. You'll be fine.
That's it. So guys, that's about it for the Snapchat Q&A. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you want to see part 1, like I said before, check out Katja's channel Deutsch Fuer Euch and add me on Snapchat, get Germanized, if you want to be part of the next Snapchat Q&A. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get a Germanized goodbye and auf Wiedersehen. Exactly.
What should I do? Ich weiß.